Hey, sax players, Mr. Fitz here with my saxophone. And we're going to have some fun playing B's and A's today. And this is page 6, lines number 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just going to turn the camera around here and show you what we're talking about. So page 6 for the full band. All right, now hopefully at this point too, you've worked on your mouthpiece neck section and you got a good sound on that. Just be sure to practice that a little bit first. That's always really important. And then what we're going to do now is we're going to use our entire saxophone and we're going to play the notes B and A. All right, so let's just take a look at this for a minute. Line number 1, the note is B. This is what it looks like. Do you see how it's on the third line up from the bottom of the music staff? 1, 2, 3. There's 5 lines on the music staff. And so the note B is on the third line or the middle line. And see all these notes here are B's. They tell us here, but we could still see that this is the same spot. Other thing that we're going to be learning about is to make what we call a whole note. And a whole note gets 4 counts. So it'll sound like this. Ta, 4 counts, right? This is a whole rest. And it's also going to get 4 counts of silence. So in our head, we just count 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 taps of our foot, right? So that's line number 1 is all B's. Line number 2, notice the note is lowered. You see how the B is on the third line? A is just below it in the space between the lines. They call that the second space because it's the second space up. And these are all A's, all right? And so this will sound a little lower like ta, 4 taps, right? And also notice this. You see the 1 dot colored there and the 2 dots colored there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, so here's the way it works. First key pressed is B. Skipping the tiny key, 2 keys pressed is A. All right, now on my saxophone, I have a little circle button here. Some saxophones have a teardrop-shaped key, but the button you want to press to do a B is attached to the big key underneath. See how there's a large key underneath this? And it moves a key up on top of it too. All right, so that's the B key. And then skipping the tiny key, that's the A key. And by the way, just for future reference, that's going to be the G key. We'll get to that. All right, so now I'm going to play for you line number 1. And I'd like you to listen to it and then practice it and try to play along with me after you practice it a little bit. Here goes. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's line number 1. Woohoo! Hopefully you heard my foot tapping. That's super important that you keep a steady beat. It's like a clock, okay? And the other thing I hope you noticed is that I started each note with a t sound. I went like that. So think about that when you play. You want to go, use a T sound to start the notes. All right, now I'm going to go on to line 2, and that's the A. So I've got to do this now instead. So I have 2 fingers down. By the way, my right hand thumb is just going to go underneath this little thumb rest here, and the neck strap holds the weight of the instrument. Okay, here goes. This is line 2. 1, 2, ready, go. Isn't that fun? Sounds good, right? So practice it. Try to play it along with me. All right? And you can back this video up as much as you need to. Now, we're going to talk about line number 3. Notice that they don't tell you whether that's a B or an A. But I betcha you could figure out what that is. They don't tell you what that is either, right? They don't tell you what any of them are. And you'll notice that they're not the same. This one's on the third line up. This one's in the second space up. So all we need to do is take a look at our A or our B and decide what we think that first note is. Okay, is it B or is it A? And then looking at this note here, what's that one? Is that a B or an A? All right, so I'm going to ask you to look at that and try to figure it out. If you're unsure right now, pause the video because I'm going to tell you the answer in a minute. But if you're unsure, I want you to try to figure it out. Okay, so then hopefully you figure out this is B, this is A, this is B, this is A. Now, as you play, you may have noticed when I was playing, I'm not sure exactly if you can tell, but I'm looking at the notes as I'm playing. Even though I could memorize them you know, I actually read them, I look at them, and I think, all right, I'm playing a B, and I'm watching it. And then during the rest, I look a little bit ahead and get ready for my next note, okay? So in this case, this is going to be important because I'm going to be switching. So there's B, and there's A, all right? So here I go. This is line 3. 1, 2, ready, go. Yay, line 3. All right, so practice it, have fun with it, and try to play it along with me. All right, have fun with lines 1, 2, and 3.